All right, good morning, party people. It is Monday, November 13th. So today we are back in the Old Testament. Yesterday we were with Jesus in the New Testament. Today we are back in the Old Testament. So our daily reading today is Exodus chapters 31, 32, 2nd Chronicles 17, 18, Revelations 1, 2. So we're back at the beginning of Revelations. Psalm 63 through 66 and Proverbs 11. So that's our daily reading, guys. Okay, so we are back with the kingdom of Israel and the split in the kingdom. So we've been following this along. So let me show you where we're at here real quick for those of you that have not been following along in the videos. We're in 2nd Chronicles 17, 18. So here's a little quick breakdown of some of what we've covered. So we've covered, first of all, the first king was Saul, then David, then Solomon, and under these three, the kingdom was completely united. Then under Solomon's son Rehoboam, we see that the kingdom becomes split, right, into a northern and southern kingdom. Rehoboam, the Davidic line, continues down in the southern kingdom. And then up in the northern kingdom, we have various kings. And what's interesting is, as I covered in earlier in 2nd Chronicles, that the person that put together 2nd Chronicles was focused on highlighting the positive things of the Davidic line, right? They were in the process of coming back from Babylon and rebuilding Jerusalem and Israel and rebuilding the temple. So the chronicler wanted to put together used all his resources to gather data and focus primarily on the southern kingdom, which consisted of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin, that followed the Davidic line, to encourage the people that went back after the dispersion, right, after leaving Babylon. And so what you see is, and that was a huge part of first and even the beginning of 2nd Chronicles. You saw how after Saul, David had prepared all of these items for Solomon to build the temple. Then you saw Solomon build the temple. Then you see his son Rehoboam come in, and things begin to fall apart very quickly, right? So now we are, this is where we're at right now. So in the reading that we're in today, we've already read about Rehoboam, the split of the nation, and then Abijah, then Asa. Now we're going to be introduced to Jehoshaphat, Asa's son, so directly from the Davidic line. But what is interesting is in 2nd Chronicles, they're only mentioning these three kings so far, right? Now we had I can't read it backwards, Jeroboam, then Baasha, and then Ahab. But what's interesting is there's a whole bunch of kings in the north that they left off. And so I wanted to show you that real quick. And there's I think it's just, I'm not sure why they left it all off, because it would have strengthened their opinion. The main reason I think they left it off is because even today when we're introduced to Ahab, there's no information. It's just like all of a sudden his name appears and you have no idea where he came from. But there's all kinds of information about him in the other books of the Bible. So let me show you this. I wrote down a more detailed version of where we are. So, and I'm just going to, everything's the same in the southern kingdom, right? This is where we're at now. But in the northern kingdom, at first we had the Jeroboam, and then you see, I can't see it backwards, his son, I think it's Nadab, I can't read it backwards. And then Baasha, we were introduced to Baasha, but Baasha, what we were not told is he killed Jeroboam's son, Nadab, who only reigned for 2 years. And then Elah, which was the son of Baasha, he only reigned 2 years, and he was killed by someone named Zimri, right? So this is how messed up the northern kingdom was. And then Omri took over, and then Ahab. So now we're introduced to Ahab. So far in the book of 2nd Kings, we've only been introduced to Jeroboam, Baasha, and now Ahab. But there's been multiple kings in the midst of there that we have not been introduced to. So just a little interesting historical tidbit there. So what I'm going to do is I'm definitely probably going to have to do 2 videos, because this is really, these 2 chapters are a couple of my favorites in the Old Testament. Shh, I've got dogs, sorry. Okay, so first off, 17:1, it says, then Jehoshaphat his son, this is the son of Asa, began to reign in his place, and strengthened himself against Israel. And he placed troops in all the fortified cities of Judah, and set garrisons in the land of Judah and in the cities of Ephraim, which Asa his father had taken. So remember, his father had taken him from the northern kingdom, so now he's strengthening them. And it says, now the Lord was with Jehoshaphat, because he walked in the former ways of his father David. He did not seek the Baals, but sought the God of his father, and walked in his commandments, and not according to the acts of Israel. Therefore the Lord established the kingdom in his hand, and all Judah gave presents to Jehoshaphat. And he had riches and honor and abundance, and his heart took delight in the ways of the Lord. Moreover, he removed the high places and wooden images from Judah. So what you see here is a lot of great information. So first of all, in the commentary I read, it says that he's the first one out of the Davidic line to be noted as following in his father, similar to David, how David delighted in God, everything he did just honored God. And this is the first king in the Davidic line that it says that about. It says, because he walked in the former ways of his father David. Now, of course, David was not his father, but that's just the way they phrase it. He did not seek the false idols. And not only did he not seek the false idols, but he removed what was still remaining in the high places in his kingdom. Then it says in verse 7, also in the 3rd year of his reign, he sent his leaders, and then it lists the leaders, Ben-Hael, Obadiah, Zechariah, Nethanel, and Micaiah to teach in the cities of Judah. And with them he sent Levites, Shemaiah, Nethaniah, Zebadiah, Asahel, Shemiramoth, Jehonathan, Adonijah, Tobijah, and Tobadonijah the Levites, and with them Elishama and Jehoram the priests. So they taught in Judah and had the book of the law of the Lord with them, and they went throughout all the cities of Judah and taught the people. Now that is insane. We have not seen that anywhere. So he's actually sending out the priests and the Levites to teach the people, so that the people will have no excuse. This is the way it was supposed to be done. This is how it should have been done previously, and it had not been being done. So now he's following through with that. And then it says, and the fear of the Lord fell on all the kingdoms of the lands that were around Judah, so that they did not make war against Jehoshaphat. Also, some of the Philistines brought Jehoshaphat presents and silver as tribute, and the Arabians brought him flocks, 7,700 rams and 7,700 male goats. So Jehoshaphat became increasingly powerful, and he built fortresses and storage cities in Judah. He had much property in the cities of Judah, and men of war, mighty men of valor, were in Jerusalem. So he's completely and totally prospering. He's strengthening his borders. He's building up his cities around Israel and against the other enemies round about him. And he's prospering. He's doing everything that he's supposed to be doing. These are their numbers according to their father's houses. So then it begins to list the power of his the troops that were with him. And remember, he only had 2 tribes, right? The rest of the 10 tribes were up north, but he was prospering crazily. Then we're down into chapter 18. So I'm not going to be able to do 18 because 18 is great without doing a second video. So I'm going to stop right here. So hold tight. Number 2 is coming. Read your Bible. Jesus is Lord, and he's coming. Peace.